What's up, everyone? It is June 13th. Markets are closed here in the U.S., and let's talk about some trades that happened today and what we're going to look going into tomorrow. So today, starting off here in the S&P 500, we can see it was just continuation day from yesterday's. In fact, look at this nice little step up. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4 straight days in a row. I mean, look at this trend line right here. You can do it from anywhere to about right there. To about right there. Look at that. Nice trend channel just going up, man. This market is in a bullish market right now, and every single day we've had it going from views of previous days highs and lows. You can see it hitting the 1.146 to 1.44 area, and that was the high for that day. Going into the next day, here we go again. It's kind of high for the day, filtered out there, and then going into today, ended up a little bit higher. It stopped a little bit and just ended up quite lowly, so it's quite a little bit more. So going in tomorrow, unless things change, expect it to go from end up somewhere north of like 44, 40, something like that for it. So it's definitely in a trend channel going upside. But look for some trades that we happen to have today. So using this pitchfork one, this is a new one that I've been working on right here. We've had how this one works is when you just use the 3 semaphores. When price breaks above it, you look to get in, but hopefully closer to about where it broke out, like right around here. And then your exit is going to be, there's 2 ways I'm looking at it, either making it the 1.414 from using that semaphore, or using the 1.416 from this one right there. Either way, it worked out for a win, but I wouldn't have gotten in right there just because one, it's at 7:30 in the morning my time. I'm not trading at the time yet. And 2, the risk reward wasn't that good for it because the stop loss you have for it is going to be just below the yellow line right here, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But that was the main thing we saw today. Now going into tomorrow, we're looking for here in the S&P 500. We are waiting for the semaphore up top to get formed, and if it does, we're going to look for a move here to the downside somewhat. And we first need the semaphore to form, then we need the price to close below the yellow line right there, and the exit we're looking for is going to be this 78.6 level right there. The extended exit would be the 1.146 down there right there. This one is a lot more safer than the 1.146, but obviously the 1.146 is more profit potential. So let's see here. Where is the, I don't think it's on that one. There. So something like say you got in about right here. Your target would be somewhere right about there. Stop loss would be a little bit short of that, probably about something like that right there. So 1.24 risk reward. You always want to get over 1 for this trade right here. So anything over 1 is good. I prefer a 1.5 if you can get that. So if you can get in a little bit better, say going up right there, now to create that go down. That one go down right there. That's a 1.53. So that's if you're looking for that trade. But again, we need the semaphore to form first. And then when that happens, we're looking for it close behind the yellow line, below the yellow line, and the target is the 78.6 level. So that's what we are looking for there. Then for the, let's see here. Nope. This one's too messed up because you see how the semaphore is right here and the lows right here. I'm not looking at the extension trade right here because normally it'd be like that, and you'd just be looking for the price to come back down to the 1.14 look to get in. And if it goes down further, it get down to 1.146. But since the semaphore is not all the way down here, I think this is where it's supposed to be. Sometimes these things don't mess up because look what happened right here. Price came back down, hit off of it perfectly, and the exit for that one is going to be the 38% going the other way, which would be right here, right in that trade right there. So that's that right there. Let's put this back on there so we remember what we're looking for in the S&P 500. All right, go to the MFI. Look at the MFI. MFI 4-hour chart completely overbought right now, and the daily chart, it is completely overbought as well. And then the weekly chart, completely overbought. So S&P 500 market is extremely overbought right now, but just like most of the markets, like look at the Nasdaq has been just insane Nasdaq now is overbought in the daily, and in the weekly it is just in constant being overbought. If I just switched over to the new contracts, the September ones, but the ones that were back in June for I don't know how many days or weeks, but it's just been constantly in the like, look at this right here. Look at this. Yeah, so for the past, right there, 1, 2, 3, going on this 4th week now, straight up in overbought territory right there for it. So the Nasdaq is extremely overbought. But going into the Russell 2000 has some great trades today in this one right here. So starting off for the day, what we had was the pitchfork trade. And what happened was earlier, I got in right here, got ticked out right there. As you can see, this one just took me out right there. I should have my stop loss a little bit lower, but that's what happened. But then once I saw that the market wasn't, because if you go down to the 1 minute chart right here, you can see it's that candle right there that got me out right there. It got me out right there, and then it came back up, and I saw it wasn't just crashing back down on the market open, so I went ahead and got back in this candle, I think somewhere right around there, and rode it up to the profit for a nice little gain. Let's go back to that here, and my target was the 1.414 using this level right there, so it took me out right there for a nice little gain for it. And then there was another one as well, because what we had an extension trade using the Fibonacci extension levels. So what you look for that one is price to go up through this level right here, the extension. Just using those semaphores, price went up through there. And what you look for is a nice little curve pattern. So then when it comes back, you see it has the space right there. And when it comes back and hits the 1.414, you get into it. And then your exit is, all you do is draw that. It's going to be 30% line. And I got out slightly before it. And the next candle would have gone out anyways. But those were 2 great trades today here in the Russell 2000. And from yesterday's movement going into today, we can see it overshot the 1.14 level, but kind of settled right on top of it for the day. So it definitely wasn't a blowout day by any means. But going into tomorrow, what we're going to be looking for is a short setup here in the Russell, just like the S&P 500. And so we actually have a signal for it where you can see it close below the red line right there, but we do not have a semaphore up top. So what we wait for is for the semaphore up top to form, assuming it does. And when it does, hopefully I'll be awake to take that trade. The exit will be down here at the 78.6 line. And when it's going this way, it's kind of like you have the slant going against you. I just put my stop loss above the previous high, which would be right there, that semaphore right there. So using that one, it could be something like, let's see, that'd be my stop loss. You drag this down some, so say it breaks out, the semaphore finally forms, you get in somewhere like right there. There's my stop loss. There'd be my exit slightly, something like that. Slightly above the 70.6, slightly above that one. So looking at that, nice little 2.5 risk reward ratio, just assuming the semaphore forms. But price keeps on moving up, the semaphore won't form, and we'll have a new high. And so we'll just move the pitchfork over here, waiting for the semaphore to form for it. That is the Russell 2000, and what we're looking at going into tomorrow. For our chart, MFI, just coming off and being overbought a little bit. Daily chart, overbought, and weekly chart, extremely overbought. So again, the theme is all these markets are overbought, so just waiting for some type of move down to happen. The Dow Jones, same sort of setup we are looking for in the Russell 2000 for the pitchfork setup, using that semaphore, waiting for the semaphore up top to form. We can see it did close down below it. So if the semaphore does form right here, then we'll look to get in, and the exit would be just above the 70.6 level right there for it. So hopefully when the market reopens, we'll get the semaphore to form. We can short it down to there and look to the same thing here in the Russell 2000 for that one. We see going the other way for today. There was a nice trade going the other way, going long with it. You can see it closed above it, but I think in that same candle right there, it pretty much, no, it didn't. The next one took it out right there. So there really wasn't, I guess there was a chance to get in right here at 7:45 in the morning, right there. That'd been your best bet to get in on it. And say you did get in, you're at your 73 pips or ticks for it, and your stop loss would have been about 55-ish or so. So that would be a nice little risk reward right there for that one. But fortunately, I missed that one to get into it, and that is what we are looking for. Oh, we also had. Did we have an extension trade on this one? Let's see. Yeah, it kind of did. You see, we have that one candle come up and it came back and it went and filled it right there. So you also had an extension trade set up for that one. See if you had extension trade using this one right there. Yeah, you did. So it would have been a very big one. You see, we finally broke out from the extension area, came back, retested it, and then went down a little bit, but then came up and hit it to fill that one right there. So that is what we're looking at for the Dow Jones going into tomorrow. And old crude oil. So crude oil had a big sell-off yesterday, going down from almost $72 from the past 2 days ago, all the way down to the lows of $66. So a good $6 move in crude oil in 2 days, big move, about almost 10%. And today we had a nice little rebound. But so what this did was it set up for a long move right here. So the initial target we're looking for is this 78.6 level, which is at $70.86. And then the extended move is going to be $72.64 from this move right here. Because we say it closed above it right here. I thought about getting in, but this is just a lot to have for risk reward. And isn't that great, to be honest? Because what you'll have right here, because you could have gotten in about right here. Oh, I need to go the opposite way for it. Get a long on here. There we go. So the long about right there, and then the short, since it's going down the opposite way, it's going against you. You want to have it slightly below the previous low right there for it. So not that good a risk reward. It is 1.214. You know, stop loss is what's that, about 2.06? No, excuse me, it's not even. It's it's a terrible one. It's 0.84 risk reward. Yeah, so you definitely don't want to get in. So what I would look to do to get into it is I would wait for the price to pull back some. And that way you can do that right there, move that up, and then move your stop loss up to about right there. So then that way, maybe not something that deep, maybe something like that. You know, look to get on the midline of the pitchfork right there. So we'll say something about right there in a perfect world, and that's how that would look right there. Because, you know, there is a chance that this is just going to be a continuation move down right here using that. Let's go to that one, because it's just right in between the 50 and 61.8 right there. So there is a chance this is just going to be a continuation move down to go down here and hit that target. And if it does, then obviously that move to the upside will not work for it. So that's why you want to limit your risk to your reward from what you'd be looking for that one. So if you get in something like that, that'd be a great one to take right there. So we're two risk reward ratio for it, but definitely wait for the pullback to get in that one. That way, just in case it doesn't work out for this trade, it doesn't go up and hit there. For our chart, coming off being oversold, and as we can see, we have had that big pop up here. And then daily chart, middle of no man's land. Weekly chart, okay, it's not loading. There we go. Middle of no man's land as well. Going over to Nasdaq, as I just mentioned a little ago, for the MFI and everything, Nasdaq is completely oversold, especially what it had been on the previous contract, the June contract for the futures. So pretty much every market except for oil is completely overbought right now. And from the big move that the good size move that Nasdaq had yesterday, you can see going into today, it stopped it right up there at the extension level for it, and then just kind of waffled around right there for the Nasdaq. And there's also actually a 5-way move that's in right now, but it was on the June contract, and I haven't carried it over into. Actually, I think it's on S&P 500. There's also a 5-way move pullback. They're looking for the pullback to happen for it as well. But going on to, let's see what this would have looked like right here. So here we have the short down here, and that obviously would hit the 78.6 down there for a nice little setup. There was another one kind of like the S&P 500, I believe it was, where the semaphore is kind of messed up, where it's right there instead of right there. It probably should have been right here for the extension trade, but price hasn't got down close enough down here to get the 1.44 level to extend it in. There was, I believe it was yesterday though. Was it yesterday's? Yeah, it was yesterday. See that we had a nice little move up right there for that extension trade for that. So going into tomorrow, we are right now, I believe it's all said and done. I don't think there's anything we can do. Yeah, so see right here, price is already closed above it, and it's already hit the 78.6 level for it. So you know if the semaphore does form right here for that one, where it closed above it and already hit the 78.6 level. So nothing to do about that trade. And it would have been a good one to get in anyway for the Nasdaq. So pretty much for all the futures markets tomorrow, for all the markets, look, they are all overbought. So we are looking for a pullback in those. Now going over to Bitcoin right here. I'm going to go over to the weekly charts. I want to show something here real quick, or it's using the daily. So going to the daily here, we are in a short setup for Bitcoin. So I'm looking for more downward action in Bitcoin. A couple reasons. One, look at this gap we have right here, right there to right there. I'll just draw a little box right there to show it. Most of the time gaps come back and get filled, and we definitely have a good one right there. And then also as well, let me, there you go, it's a lot easier to see now. Take out the previous day's highs and lows. We have the gap right there. Then we also have a short setup here for Bitcoin. There's the semaphore. Price came down, broke below it, and we are looking for the 78.6 level to get hit, which is about 22,000. And the extended level from that move right there is going to be about 17,815. So if you're looking at getting into Bitcoin, I definitely hold off until it comes down to around the 22,000 level. And if you want to be even safer, wait till this gap gets filled, and even safer than that, if the extension does get hit, look for about this 18,000 level if you want to start getting in on it as right there. So since we have this gap to be filled and we're in the short setup right now, I'm definitely looking for more downward movement in Bitcoin. Should probably drag all the cryptocurrencies down as well. And going into the weekly chart, we can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're still looking for the 5-wave Elliott move. And if that does happen right there, look at this right here. See this pitchfork right here? If it does end up happening, price is going to have to make a nice rally up, get close to about 60,000 to break this. But once it breaks this yellow line right here at the top of that pitchfork channel, that puts it in a long setup for it. And if it does, then the target we are looking at is going to be the 1.414 level, and that puts us just north of the 5-wave minimum Elliott wave movement. So if we do get a big rally up, we'll need the price of Bitcoin to at least double and then some to go up there and do that. But if it ever does, then feel very bullish in saying that's not done yet, and we're looking at the target going at least to 78,000 more like, but really looking at about 91,000, 92,000 for Bitcoin, but still has a bit of ways to go to hit that. But the only good news is there's not a long-term short setup right now in Bitcoin. The only one that could be available is a long-term long setup. But again, price of Bitcoin has to go up. But in the near term or shorter term than that, it still could take weeks, if not months, for this to come down and get hit. We are looking for more downward momentum in Bitcoin before the next potential rally up in it. So that's the markets today. Have a good one. Thanks. Bye.